Although we saw a lot of promise from both these teams and some of the games where they forced some of the top contenders of the league.
You mentioned at the top of the coverage, particularly for Adamson, no easy games against them despite only 3 wins. Yun din, kaya natagalan kasi ang daming balik-balik ng bola. Hindi nila mahanap which part of that rally. Anyway, back to play. Ateneo with a 2-point lead early in this first set. Late pancake save or attempt there.
Goal now is to learn from the experiences they gained since game 1.
Uy!
During the last game against the Lady Spikers, a lot of the rookies were present in playing for the last set.
In this past tournament, and that is the beauty of being a rebuilding team or a young team, because you really have nowhere to go but up. And
every time she goes for the attack, and you'd love to see that from her today, especially because if I'm not mistaken, lowest output niya this season yung game na yon against LaSalle. She was limited to just 6 points, very uncharacteristic of her usual point production.
Meantime, Bascon there, challenged by the blockers. Nagsisipag ang mga blockers ng Ateneo, challenging everything that comes their way, and it pays off. Leah de Guzman, as you mentioned.
You gotta love her timing.
That's what makes her even more impressive as a blocker. Back row attack from the pipe. Leah de Guzman scores. Let's see if this will do it. Blockers of Ateneo still there. What will Tax do? Outside to Lian. Oh. Good job by Villegas. Regalo na sana yon. And look at Adamson. Bascon will send it over. A quick. Gandang bantay ni Villegas. You gotta credit Villegas for that. Just both times averting what could have been a disaster coming from Sulit.
But this last point, it was well timed, and she made sure na that block point is gonna be awarded to her. So, maganda rin yung matchup ng mga middles dito. Of course, Sulit starting to perform well amid that second round. She also have some double-digit scoring output in their games compared to yung first round na among the Spikers, siya yung left out in terms of point production. So, with a much improved Sulit, as we saw another point, ang ganda ng matchup with Villegas and Nike as well.
A lot of Cebuanas very proud of Barbie. Oh, wow. It's tough, you know, when you know that Adamson is iba-iba. She's come from everywhere. She's had some pipe attacks down the line. Meron siyang mga tips and just the monster blocks. Tsunashima again. 6.
This is their last chance, so if they want their best finish, they gotta show it today. And that's exactly what we're seeing from these Ateneo girls. Because that combination play, it was actually a good opportunity, no? Dahil halos no touch on the blockers, but it went out. Same as this attack, going out but off the block.
Middles here, no? Si Nike is actually higher ranked than Tsunashima sa blockers, pero hindi pa siya masyadong nagagamit. In fact, kasi nga binabalasa din yung mga players. And now, Tsunashima showing off her offense or her spiking.
Look at the body language of Adamson. They look very stunned. Just looking at the ball. Meanwhile, Ateneo, clear, no pressure visible on their side. Plus, right now, we don't see any aces. Plan of Ateneo to limit the involvement of Nike. It's successful so far here in the first set.
Binibigyan pa siya.
Sophie Buena with another explosive attack.
Good first ball from Roma, and that converts to a point. That's Casey Cortez coming in for the first time. Here's a chance for Ateneo to close out this first set. Isa Nisperos. She will go again. Tipping the ball over. Did it go in? And it's going to be given to Ateneo. Struggling all throughout and could not string together points, and they need to regroup and bounce back in set 2.
Well, in set number 1, we saw the top players of Ateneo really shine. The Guzman with 7 points, Buena with 4, Tsunoshima with 3. While on the other side, we saw Hamili leading with 3 points, but still not enough because, you know, just looking at them, generally they look lost. Meanwhile, itong Ateneo just seems like they're playing to their advantage, using their strengths in this game, and it's really maximized as
Told me that since the pressure is off for both teams, since they are out of contention, her main goal is to have fun. Tax emphasized that the Blue Eagles owe it to Aterom.
Now we're even at 6 apiece. Guzman with a hulog. Nahuli ni Andok.
Look at the transition na hinahanap natin sa Adamson. Yan ang nakikita natin sa Ateneo. Bascon. She is the top scorer along with Hamili with 4 points apiece. But speaking of top scorer, the Guzman just not. But we're still tied at 8 points. This time, you did mention how we're seeing a different Adamson compared to the first set.
Uy! Buhay pa! Well, they tried.
Earlier, like we mentioned, they looked lost and yung very disorganized. But this time, a lot of people just going and diving for the ball. But so Buena na lumagpas yung paa niya, but it was the full foot. And the point will automatically be awarded to Ateneo. So he tried to counter.
Blocking, working for Adamson as well in the second set. And Buena will go. I don't think that one crossed the net.
Being down by 2. And then just like that, nabawi nila yung 2 puntos na yun.
Tsunoshima. And she is the unstoppable force today. Really an all-around game.
Parang lahat very aggressive with their attacks.
Lahat humihingi ng bola. Back row attack. Good stop by Lian. Now an open set to Hamili and the blocks, but Adamson trying to see that frown on Coach Sergio converted to a smile. Very serious. I guess ang kanyang benchmark is their performance in set 1. Yeah, Tsunoshima will get that set and she will score again.
Found her consistency throughout this season. Si AC Minor contributing with that service ace. And Tsunoshima, when they're on fire, they're really on fire.
Yeah.
And at some point against that UST squad, tatlo sila na 20+ points ang scoring output. And since then, we saw that they have elevated level of confidence.
Oh! And even Doromal, she read it but couldn't get to it on time. So that as many of the players to get some time on the court.
For Ateneo, if they win this, it will confirm a much better outing than last year. As we see Villegas, halos nasa end line na because the initial position for defense sa mga quick attacks, nakapasok yung mga defenders talaga eh.
And so Buena gets it right back. That's a good serve. That is why she's brought in at this time.
When you're called a service specialist, that's how it should look like. Mga middles or yung mga medyo not very consistent in serving. So their task is to serve and to defend. But Adolfo...
Adamson just 3 points behind Ateneo. Guzman just sending it over. Alcantara with a good read. Pascon tipping the ball. Pasha is blocked, and that's a point. You know, if you're Adamson, you manage so well in the first part of the second set. They just need to look for that. Hark back to those moments of the game. And according to Coach Hudek, good first ball, running attack, Nike. Dug by Pasha. De Guzman will send it over. Adamson gets another chance. Another chance for Nike, and she hits that outside, and Ateneo will celebrate. Literally, Adamson just has to clean up their act. I mean, more than half of the points binigay nila sa Ateneo. Hindi trinabaho na Ateneo. And that's really just minimizing or eliminating the errors altogether. Pag yung mga ganyang puntos na talagang ginamitan naman ng utak ni...
Problem dun sa execution, dun sa contact sa bola.
Oh, that was a good serve. And AC Minor has been delivering bombs from the service line. Zell, deadly from the right pin.
Tsunoshima.
Good first ball. Lalong isip. Stopped by Ateneo. De Guzman coming from the right. Oh, sulit. That pickup though. Good defense by Adamson. De Guzman. And that is going to be inside. It bounced off the net, I think.
Tigers, grabe yung kanilang blocking that game, but there were a lot of points from Lalong Isip coming off from combination play. So I think it has slowly became her forte.
Blockers of Ateneo working hard though. And sulit. I think that connection is solid today between Ateneo just down by 1. Oh, make that 2 after that.
Maganda kapag nasesitan, Lalong Isip also, and she's in the front line. But just like that, they really need more people to work for them. More lethal because they are working together, and a lot of their hitters have high efficiency.
That's a difficult set. Aljibe took care of that. Almonte will go up, getting it through the two-man block, and finally Almonte able to score. The blocking of Ateneo, they were scoring a lot on the blocks earlier. So Buena, this time it's in reverse. This is, I think, the third block point for 2 service aces for AC Minor already. And Zell Tsunoshima is blocked. One more time for Zell. How about Ancheta?
Every time she's there at the front row, she's blocking naman.
Almonte going down the line. That was a tough one. Another chance here for Adamson. But ball right back to Ateneo. Again, a mental lapse. I don't know if Yandok should have sent that over when she did.
Star players also in attendance, and John Maraginot and Laika Ebon, of course. FEU and NU will also battle it out again later for their last match of the elimination. So far, this is the best output in a set this game for Adamson. They have already surpassed their scores in first and second set, but sulit.
Really putting out performances that were probably not expected of her. Wow! I mean, these monster blocks coming from Ancheta. It's at the front, pero yung mawawalang bisa din dahil sa mga service error. But all's not lost yet for Adamson. They are still well within this third set. Only a point down, like you mentioned, partner. This is Ateneo looking good. They want to end it in 3. Ayaw nilang patagalin pa. They took the first game against Adamson in 4 sets.
I mean, in the first set, it was a De Guzman show. Speaking of De Guzman, she just scored off her 14th point of the game. Just doing everything she can to score without thinking of, oh, I gotta carry the load.
Yeah. You're right. Adolfo, heavy hands, and going for the corner pocket. Lalong Isip made a lot of difference in this third set, and Minor again. You know, si Tax knows na medyo mainit.
Game for Ateneo so far. They're at match point right now.
Ooh. Oh, that's a tough one for Almonte. Couldn't get the ball over, and that is how this
this saga will end for Ateneo. A win